The ruling party of the country of Georgia has suspended talks to join the European Union, causing an uproar. The opposition says this is because of a pro-Russian effort to rig recent parliamentary elections and turn the former Soviet republic back towards Moscow. Georgia is a nation of 3.6 million people between Russia and Turkey on the Black Sea. As protesters continue to fill the streets, Nick Schifrin reports on the future of a country that plays a pivotal role in U.S. influence across the region.
On the streets of the capital Tbilisi, a fight for the country's future. Last night, Georgian police charged, arrested by the dozen, pepper sprayed, and even assaulted protesters and journalists. Thousands of Georgians demonstrated the government's decision to end talks with the European Union, armed only with flags, multi-generational indignity, and aspirations for a European future.
The government has been using excessive and disproportionate violence against peaceful protesters.
Standing right now in front of huge demonstration in Tbilisi.
Anna Dolidze is a former deputy defense minister and chair of the Opposition for the People Party. She and other opposition groups are boycotting parliament led by the Georgian Dream Party, denouncing the institution meant to represent Georgians as instead denying the desires of 80% of Georgians to join the EU.
This has been the cornerstone, Georgia's pro-European orientation, membership in NATO, and that there is an inscription in the Constitution that all government officials should aspire to implement Georgia's pro-Western course. Now, we are standing in front of a clearly pro-Russian power and a pro-Russian representative or a bastion in the South Caucasus.
More than 20 years ago, Georgia was the first ex-Soviet republic to launch a pro-democracy revolution. In 2008, Russian troops invaded northern Georgia and have occupied 20% of the nation ever since. The ruling Georgian Dream first won elections in 2012, financed by the billions of former Prime Minister Bidzina Ivanishvili, who made his fortune in various enterprises in post-Soviet Russia. In last month's election, Georgian Dream argued that aligning with the EU would lead to Ukraine-level destruction, and yesterday called EU demands that Georgia make reforms to its laws and institutions insulting.
They are asking from Georgia not reforms, but steps that would mean a rejection of our dignity.
That idea echoed today by the head of the Russian Parliament's International Affairs Committee, who wrote, quote, "The Georgians did not allow their country to be made a puppet of the West."
In no sense this should be minimized to a local democracy or authoritarianism issue. It's a geopolitical issue. Either we will be locked down in this camp, which is pro-Russian, we will be using Georgian territory for Russian projects, or we will remain a Western ally.
Local and international election observers argue the Georgian Dream government is illegitimate because last month's parliamentary election was marked by widespread fraud.
Elections have been always rigged under the Georgian Dream, but this time this was rigged in a way, in a much larger scale.
Sandro Baramidze is the executive director of Transparency International Georgia, an anti-corruption NGO that helped oversee more than 1,300 election observers.
Most of them have reported the endemic violation, paving way for the Georgian Dream.
His organization found instances of bribery, intimidation and physical violence inside polling stations, and repeat voting, even ballot stuffing. When the Central Election Commission, considered controlled by the Georgian Dream, validated the results, an enraged opposition party member threw ink at the election chief. Both the EU and US have called for investigations.
The protests have continued, will continue. You'll continue to work internationally and domestically, but with all due respect, what power do you have?
Yes, the only power we have is high moral ground, which we really have. So that is people's choice, people's voice, and the peaceful nature of resistance. So we will continue, channeling the voice and the choice of the Georgian people, but we definitely need international attention and assistance.
And so protesters will keep fighting Georgian dream to achieve their own European dreams. But so far, nothing is stopping the authorities from forcing the country's fate. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.